As you've been into this industry from a very long time, and you're an expert in public speaking as well as communication, so the first question that I want to ask you is that how do you speak so that someone will listen to you? Like कैसे बात करनी है ताकि सामने वाला जो इंसान है वो तुम्हारे पास पूरा अटेंशन से ध्यान दे रहा है?
The main, I'll give you one word for it, it's receptivity. Ki if I know who I'm speaking to, then I can tailor my message in such a way that you are going to be all guards down and you're going to be receptive to what I'm trying to say. Mira, one of my initial corporate talks was at Aditya Birla UltraTech. And the HR reached out to me and she's like, we have to talk to these managerial level candidates about communication. You have to teach them communication. Like, okay. I had no knowledge of who my audience was by then. But this is my process. Anytime that I go to give a public talk, I first ask whoever is in charge that what is the demographics of my audience? कौन है? कहाँ से आए हैं? क्या? Trying to get into their mind, into their head. So I spoke to the HR. I got on a separate call just for this. And I called, I'm like, okay, so who are the candidates? She's like, it's about 70 to 80 people. I'm like, okay, what is the gender ratio? She goes, so it's probably 68 males and 2 females because it was that a traditional setup. I'm like, okay, first ring. Second thing that I asked her was, so how many years of experience do they have? And she goes, they've been working here for about like 15 to 20 years. Okay. And I was starting out then, right? I was 26, 27. So my first thought was, okay, here is a room full of 70 about somewhat men who have done things in a set way for the last 15, 20, 25 years. And here is a 26, 27-year-old coming here to teach them communication. That is the general thought process. Of course, it's natural, it's human. There's nothing, I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but it's just what it is, right? So I had to make sure that, okay, here are these people who have this much amount of experience. कौन से degree का information मैं उनको देने वाली हूँ? Is it beginner level? Is it intermediate level? Is it advanced level? So naturally here it was supposed to be advanced. Okay, step 2. Now if I'm speaking to a group of executives who have been around for a long time, who have done things in a set way, I need to show up in my own authoritative mode as well for them to take me seriously and what I'm and being completely open to learning something or like taking something, because I knew I had a lot to share. So I chose, the clothes that I chose was very mindful for that as well. I chose a solid blue collared shirt with a neutral like beige pants, and I spoke in a very neutral register, no high pitches, because when you're speaking in high pitches, you're supposed to, hi, how are you doing? It's not as serious as like if I'm speaking like this, right? So it's the psychology behind how you're saying something and how it's being received. So when I know that this is my audience, this is who I'm speaking to, I got all of this out of the way. The last thing that I had to do was, okay, how do I convey the same information that I have? Because wo advanced level ka communication information I can give to a bunch of college kids as well, to an actor, to a politician, to a corporate professional, to an entrepreneur. But here I was dealing with this set of people. So I had to pick a story, a figure that would resonate with them. So I picked up Hitler. Right, because that was a character that everybody knows, especially people that age group, they know very well. And they were so excited about when I actually went in to give the talk. I did a character analysis of Hitler and the way that he communicated, which practically charged up a whole nation to commit the atrocities that they did, right? So I picked up Hitler, did his character analysis, and starting I went and, okay, who here knows who Hitler is? And of course, I know who Hitler is, right? Everybody knows. Okay, do you know what he did? And of course, everybody loves talking about, these stories from history. So it started off on a very solid note, went really well, the whole talk. Last, I ended with a live Q&A. Like I always do this with all of my masterclasses, all of my public talk sessions. TED Talks, maybe I request if a Q&A is possible. Sometimes some universities allow, some don't. So that was also very exciting. So it was a success because I knew who I was talking to. So receptivity, know who your audience is.
So just talking about this example of UltraTech, and I've been part of Aditya Birla Group myself for
Oh,
2
you
years.
have?
Yes, I've worked
Wow,
there for
what
2
years?
years. So 2020 to 2022, I was in Aditya Birla Group. So I was in Aditya Birla Capital, then corporate finance, and I was
Okay.
in different companies, not UltraTech, but I have a lot of friends in
Yeah, a
UltraTech.
different
and
vertical,
Yeah,
yeah.
different vertical. But just talking more about that, so tell me one thing, like when you explained with the example of Hitler, so how exactly do you do that, and क्या आपने character analysis मतलब कैसे किया था, and what exactly was that?
So it was basically, so all of my work is around what's happening underneath the surface. So Hitler, if you look at him as a character, and I got so much hate on the internet for this, for saying this, because I said that Hitler was an insecure speaker, and a lot of people took it as Hitler was insecure, and then it just like all hell broke loose that no, he was not, you don't know, blah, blah, blah. But it's fine, it's just part and parcel of being on the internet, right? But my approach to Hitler as a character was that, of course, from whatever I've read about him, and he's very fascinating to me, and most of my work is about what is happening underneath the surface, because most of the people or individuals or characters who portray extreme confidence or show display behavior of extreme confidence, usually more often than not it is an overcompensation for extreme insecurity. So अगर किसी भी trait का अगर आप में बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ है तो उसका opposite end वाला spectrum का जो character है, trait है, वो भी आप में होगा. And this is not just me saying, it's basically Alfred Adler talks about this as well in his book What Life Could Mean. That whenever you will see, okay, एक तरीके का confidence होता है which is quiet confidence, and we as human beings, we are all born with bullshit meters. We know, subconsciously we know, like a 2-year-old kid can see which adult is easier to manipulate. So we are just born with BS meters, right? So excuse my French. So with Hitler, if he was displaying so much of like overt levels of larger than life and a lot of grandiosity, that was, based on my analysis, an overcompensation for insecurity, for a lot of things that went on in his childhood, and of course there's so much to go into for him. So that is the main character that I picked up for this talk, to display that even if you are insecure about something, which we all are about certain things, communication is a set of behaviors at the end of the day. You can portray certain things by acting out certain behaviors, which is body language, which is facial expressions, gestures, tone of voice, and Hitler had a whole setup for this. He had his whole photographer to kind of check him out and take pictures of him while he was doing this, just to study his own impact on the audience. Tab social media nahi tha, right, for people to like criticize him about everything. No, it was like maybe 100 speeches mein se 4 shayad record hoti thi. So that was the approach.
If you learned something new from this video, do share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel so that we can bring you the best content possible. Also, if you want to watch this entire episode, click on the link in the description box and you can go to Kushal Lodha YouTube channel and watch the entire podcast episode. Thank you so much for watching this and have an amazing day.